Happy Friday, sports fans! We're back with another installment of the Morning Sports Session. I'm your host, D Banks, and as always, my esteemed colleagues, Denzel, Patrick, and Jarrell. Today, we'll be going over some of sports' hottest topics, including the NFC West predictions, Durant won't visit the White House, and Marshawn Lynch's interesting press conference. As you start your morning session, and we begin ours with the first pick. First topic is the NFC West. What do we got coming out of the NFC West?
My favorite.
Come on, bro. You know what we got coming.
The NFC West, I will admit, lost its prestige over the years. The division, I think, a couple years ago was by far the toughest division in football. I don't believe that anymore.
Nope.
And I think that our division is fairly easy, and the schedule that the NFC West faces this year is very, very easy. If you guys didn't get a chance to check that out. I got the Niners, bottom of the basement, of course, 1-15.
Wow, one win.
One win. It's going to be a process in San Francisco, and I think it's going to be a good process. They got Lynch signed for 6 years, Shanahan signed for 4 years. They got time. They're in no rush right now. They just announced that Brian Hoyers are going to be the quarterback. I mean, let's be honest, guys. They're not going to win. They're not going to win football games this year. But they did have a really active offseason, so maybe things will be better in the future. Arizona, 9-7. These guys are like the old men to me. I feel like they're getting older, and they're not really getting better.
Yeah.
And we're specifically talking about Carson Palmer and Fitzgerald here. A couple years, that's going to be gone. I'm not sure what the Cardinals' plan is for the future. Seems like they're stuck between win now, but in the future, but they're not set up to win now. So I got them at 9-7. Think that they'll compete for a wild card spot, but I don't know about them getting it because the Rams are going to get that wild card spot at 11-5.
That's a bold.
Yes, I said it, everybody. 11-5. Look at our schedule if you think I'm that crazy. I'm not. And that's including a loss I gave us against the Cowboys when Zeke won't be playing. I don't know. And now Zeke's not playing. I don't know. But so possibly 12-4. But I think we're gonna have a good year. Like I've already highlighted what we've done in the off season. All the weapons that we brought in over the last 2 years to help out Goff. This is the year he put up or shut up, and it's time. I think he has a good team around him, and he needs to make it happen. All right, and the Seahawks, number one. They're still the big dog. They're still the kings of the division. I think that they're not really getting better, but still got to respect them. The defense is still tops. The offense did get better. I think that they got weapons. I like their acquisition of Cheeseburger Eddie. If he can stay under his weight limit, I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
The offensive line is still probably the worst in football, which at the end of the day will hold them back from another Super Bowl run.
No. So, bro, what you got?
Well, the bottom of the basement is pretty similar. I got San Francisco at 2-14.
You give him 2.
Yeah, I had to give him 2. I don't know. Carlos Hyde will maybe have a nice game. You know what I mean? Yeah, something. Other than that, I don't see them making big strides. Now, this is where it gets tough. I have the Rams at 8-8. And I'm going to say this strictly because I have faith that they will turn it around this year, but I'm not putting my reputation on the line to say that.
Smart man.
So 8-8. Watch for great things coming out of LA from the Rams, not the Chargers. The Arizona Cardinals, I have them at 9-7, and like you said, Carson and Fitzgerald, they're the two main parts of that offense. Besides David Johnson, we'll leave David Johnson out, but they don't seem to be getting any better.
Yeah.
They're not getting worse, but they're not getting better.
Old.
Like that's all it is. They're getting old, so their
old.
time's running short. They need to make the move, and I don't see them as a legitimate threat in the NFC, to be honest with you. And the Seattle Seahawks have them finishing 11-5. Russie and Cheeseburger Eddie, plus with that defense, it's going to be an issue out the West with them.
I seen Jimmy Graham lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah, I heard Jimmy Graham's actually, he's coming in great shape.
Yeah.
We've heard from the 2. Now Denzel.
Patrick. What's your division, huh? At the bottom of this division, I'm going to agree with you guys. I have the 49ers. The 49ers cleaned house, and then they brought in a whole new house.
Yeah,
so I expect them to be better in the future. Like you said, they just brought in Lynch. Kyle Shanahan's there for the 4-year deal. So within the next couple years, they traded down with the Bears. They got a few more draft picks for next year also. So I expect down the line that the 49ers will get it together. Okay, so I'm sorry, Pat. I'm going to have to go with the Rams at 7 and 9. They did get a new coach. Goff is in his second year, which gives him a year of experience under his belt. As you noted, they are newly loaded with Sammy Watkins being there. Obviously, Gurley, we expect big things from him. You said that yesterday in fantasy, so I'm going to be looking out for him. But with the Aaron Donald issue on defense, I'm not sure. I really don't believe that your defense is ready to compete within that division like with the next team that I'm going to talk about, because even though Arizona, as you said, they are older, as I talked about with the New Orleans Saints, they're built to win now. They have David Johnson. They have Larry Fitzgerald. On defense, Matthew has came out and stated that he feels like he's the best defensive player in the world. They still have Pat Peterson.
Yeah.
Patty P, yeah. So, to me, I feel like although the Cardinals are on a decline and they will within the next year, they're going to have to rebuild.
Yeah.
I think right now they are built to win. So, I got them at 11 and 5 still, a defensive wild card team. But Seattle, yes, I got them at 12 and 4 like you guys. Cheeseburger was a good pickup. They're not getting any better, like you said, but the defense is still so strong. I still believe in Richard Sherman. I still think he's a top 4 or 5 corner in the league. So, Russell, he's fresh off a second year into his new deal. I expect him to be better this year too.
And he was sensational last year.
Yeah, exactly. So I expect him to
be
better this year.
Jimmy Graham. So yeah, I definitely believe Seahawks will be the team to beat in the NFC.
As we move on, staying in the NFL, talk fantasy. Biggest thing in the offseason. We love fantasy here. We're going to focus on wide receivers today.
This is my favorite part of the team.
Let's hear about it.
You talk about how you love running backs. Running backs are great, but receivers are the best. It's a deep field, fellas. I don't know.
A lot of depth in the
Like,
receivers.
honestly, if you're at the top of the draft in the middle, you can find anybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my number 1 receiver, of course, Antonio Brown. Last year he had 201 fantasy points. This year I just see him. I mean, with Martavis being back and the addition of Juju, it's going to take away some catches, people believe, but I also think it's going to take away the pressure, and AB is going to get a lot more one-on-one coverage. So watch out for AB to have a big year. My number 2 receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. 195 points last year, and you know how he rocks out on the Giants. He's going to touch the ball at least 6-7 times a game. Even if he gets reverses, once in a while he'll maybe even do a little return. You never know. Odell's used all over the place, and he's just going to be a big threat for us. Julio with 176 points in third. A lot of people can mix and match this order as much as you want, but Julio's the most injury prone out of all of them.
Okay.
That's why I have him at 3. You never know if he's going to be available or not. When he is, he does great. But when he's hurt, he misses a lot of time. So we'll keep an eye on that. Number 4, as weird as it sounds, he was number 2 last year in most points in fantasy, but I have him as number 4, Jordy Nelson.
Jordy, Packers.
Yep.
Understandable.
The only problem with Jordy is that the Green Bay Packers never love to fill up the receiver position, so it seems like it's always just Jordy by himself. Yeah. So he does get doubled a lot. Yeah. He does get extra pressure, but he always finds a way to get open. So watch out for that 207 points like last year. He might repeat with Aaron Rodgers looking up this year. And my wild card had the most points in fantasy out of all receivers. I luckily landed him in fantasy football last year, Mike Evans. 208 fantasy points amongst receivers, the top in the field. Jameis has reached over 4,000 yards in each of his first 2 seasons. Watch for him to do it again. And Mike Evans is his number 1 target. Even with Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans is the man to get. So.
And Mike Evans definitely just came out and said that he believes that Jameis will be one of the greatest quarterbacks. And so, like, they believe
that
they
chemistry.
They love each other. Yeah, that's big. So. I'm going to go next. I'm going to throw mine out there because, as you said, those top 3, you can definitely rotate them. And for me, I have AB at 3 because, as you stated, they've got Martavis back. They got Juju. Le'Veon wants to get paid next year, so I feel like the catches and the yards that he's going to be trying to get this year are going to take away a lot from AB, so I would be careful with him. But the guy that I think that's going to come in at number 1 for me, I'm going to go Odell Beckham. Junior, I should say. They brought in Brandon Marshall, and I think that right there is going to be the relief that he needs to actually really go out there and be a standout superstar caliber every game. Because there's games where he only has like 3 catches and he gets like 100 yards. But now I'm thinking like 7, 8 catches a game for him, 9 catches this year. And if he can do that, he's going to be in
over 200 yards.
Exactly. I'm thinking ODB is going to come out and try to be sensational this year. So I'm expecting a lot from him, especially after some of the catches we've seen him.
Oh my!
Dude, he's been working. Julio, I got a number 3. Like you said, he's injury prone. That offense is strong. They have a lot of receivers, deep running back core. So I feel like he'll be the same as last year. So don't sleep on Julio ever. But number 4, Michael Thomas. I've told you guys before, I believe in Drew. I believe the Saints believe in Drew, and I think he believes in Michael Thomas. That's the reason why they were able to get rid of Brandon Cooks. So because of that departure, I believe that he will thrive in that offense. And AP's there now, so they're going to have people in the box and a lot of man-to-man coverage, and he's going to be able to exploit it, and I'm expecting big things from him. And my 5th receiver, I'm going to go with Dez Bryant. Zeke's suspension, to me, is key. Dak's going to need someone to stand out in that offense, and I believe Dez is going to thrive in it, and I think that those two are going to get a connection that Dak and Zeke already may have. So I'm expecting big things from Dez all season. And I'm not going to leave my guy out. He's my sleeper pick. He's my dark horse, Brandon Cooks. He's new with Tom Brady. We have the best tight end in the NFL. We have 3 receivers fresh off of the Super Bowl. The experience in Edelman, Hogan, and Amendola. So I believe that B. Cooks will be able to thrive, be open, be Tom Brady's number 1 target, and get a lot of points in fantasy this year. Look out for him.
My number 1, I'm gonna go with like you guys said, the top 3. You already know, but number 1, I'm gonna go with Jarrell Antonio Brown. I like what you said, but I'm going to go the opposite way to say that all those weapons help him.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Antonio Brown is somebody that obviously you cannot single cover. That man cannot be covered one-on-one, and he's going to get a lot of one-on-one looks. He's going to torch the defense every time. Antonio Brown, number 1 receiver.
That's if Juju and Martavis produce, though. I mean, Martavis is known to produce on the big hits, but I don't... We'll see.
It's been a year off. We gotta see how he comes back.
For the same reason of the weapons, like you said, I got Odell. I think that the weapons that the Giants got is gonna give them a big boost.
Yeah. But then who they drafted the tight end? I forgot.
Evan Ingram.
That's forgot. Yeah.
4'3", 40, 6'7".
Yeah.
Yes.
He's so fast.
Oh, we're gonna get back to him on them tight ends then.
Yeah.
For sure. Number 3, Julio. Julio. I've had the benefit of having Julio on my team the last 2 years. He's a great fantasy receiver, but my thing is a lot of times Julio will get double, triple teamed, and he will have those games where he gets shut down. Jordy, number 4, like you said, Aaron Rodgers loves him. He finds a way to get open no matter what because A-Rod loves him, loves to go to him. He's always going to be the guy.
He's Tom Brady's Edelman.
Yeah. Number 5, I like Michael Thomas too.
Yeah.
Drew Brees is a great quarterback. You see what he did. Marcus Colston, Brandon Cooks throughout their careers. They
excel with Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is a great quarterback. Knows how to get the ball to his best receiver.
Definitely.
Wild card, DeAndre Hopkins will get better from last year. Do not draft him too early.
Nope.
Do not be scared because he failed you last year.
Do not
be scared. He will get better.
He put the stamp on Tom Savage. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Seatbelts on, windows up. We're entering the burn run. First topic. Durant doesn't want to go to the White House. How do we feel about it?
As a Patriots fan, I was sad to see any player go when they went a couple months back. So, as much as I dislike KD, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and as a leader of the NBA champs, he took a stand, and he's gonna try to get his team behind him. And I hope nobody goes.
Yeah,
he said he does not respect who is in the office right now, and I don't blame him, especially after what happened this past week.
It's NBA is a different culture. They stand up for their rights. I don't see that team.
And KD said he said that that's his personal decision, but he's pretty sure that his teammates feel the same way.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm pretty sure that they do too. So I don't expect the Warriors to be going, which is a big statement if the Warriors don't go to the White House. this has been a tradition in sports for a long time.
Shout out to the NBA.
The champs
they
making
allowed
us.
us.
As we move on to NFL news, Marshawn Lynch of the Raiders had a press conference. Those are always interesting. How'd that go?
He avoided every single question asked him and simply referred back to the Raiders. He said before that he always sat down, and I think this is his way of showing that. Like, this is another day at work for me, guys.
You know, Marshawn, he just dogs the media day in, day out.
Yeah.
You know he's not going to answer. You know why I'm here. That's all there is to it.
He doesn't trust the media. I don't know why they keep asking him these questions, and they're mad that he's not answering.
Yeah.
They're mad that he's not answering him. Like,
You should
what do you
expect this.
expect? You know that he doesn't trust the media. He never has.
And you know what's great about this? He's saying whatever he wants and doing whatever he wants, and I promise you he will still be on a team next year.
Oh, for sure.
And if he wants to go if he wants to go the following year and get a new contract,
it's
he will.
his
'Cause he has a
choice if
2-year
he wants
deal.
to be on the team or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, beast mode is all he said, and did whatever he pleased. I don't think anybody's ever going to tell him to shut up.
Nope.
And no one wants him to shut up at all. Keep doing what you're doing, Marshawn.
Exactly.
Staying in the preseason, week 1 wrapped up. We're moving on to week 2, preseason highlights. What do we think about that?
I'm going to start this off by talking about the game that I don't understand why Colin Kaepernick didn't participate in. The two teams that just decide they will not take Cap. Baltimore beat Miami 31-7. Ryan Mallett, Baltimore's reason not to sign Cap.
Yes.
13-22, 113 yards, touchdown and 2 interceptions.
In production a bit.
No, touchdown, 2 interceptions. That is unacceptable. That's not good. It's a preseason game. There's no reason for you to throw 2 interceptions. It's not okay. Jay Cutler made his debut for the Dolphins. Just 36, 24 yards. Not much to read into there, but
G-Series.
yeah.
I got the Tampa Bay and Jacksonville game. They looked good last night. Well, Jameis did specifically. 21 for 29, 196 yards. Mike Evans and him linked up. Mike Evans had 5 catches, I should say, 57 yards. The thing that I took away from the game was the fact that Blake Bortles got booed by by his home fans because he overthrew Allen Robinson. And he did finish the game 8 for 13 with 65 yards, completing 5 of those passes to Robinson for 40 yards. But it's not looking too good for him.
Don't
Just
excuse
shows
it.
what kind of faith they have in him down there in Jackson.
Yeah.
Don't excuse it.
As we go from the NFL to the MLB, our hometown Pirates, they're playing the Cardinals this weekend. What's special about that game?
Big league to the little league, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big news.
They got the
I love
MLB
it.
Little League
I
Classic.
love it.
First inaugural. I believe this is great for the game. I mean, the Little League World Series, since we were kids,
been huge.
you know what it is every summer. But now for the big league to come to the Little League,
Yep.
play in Williamsport in front of all the little kids, I think that's
The
great.
people in
Yeah.
Williamsport
Yeah.
got all
And not only that, they got the nicknames on the back of the jerseys on Sundays.
And,
So
and the Cardinals and Pirates are part of a division race
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
not-
It's heating up. So,
not like it's a
so
regular
they get
game.
they get an important high stakes game.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
It's definitely
that.
going to be a good game
that
for the people
division
in Williamsport to watch. At least
Definitely.
that.
Hey, shout out Rashawn, go watch it. It's gonna be a good game.
Definitely going to be a good game for the people of Williamsport to watch, especially the ones that support the Little League World Series. And now we go to the NFL. Sean Smith of the Raiders in trouble with the law.
Sean Smith was charged with assault yesterday from a crime back in July.
Ooh.
Alleged assault and battery of his sister's boyfriend. He allegedly beat him up and stomped his head out.
What's the story behind it?
I mean, allegedly he beat him up and
Sister's
stomped his head
boyfriend,
out.
you can
and
assume with the story,
he's keeping his innocence, pleading not guilty. If he's found guilty, he could face 7 years in prison. So
They better not find him
big
guilty.
deal.
Forget NFL
This is actually a
suspension,
big
7
deal.
years in prison. That's real life issues.
Mhm,
That's a
and
problem.
that's a big part for the Raiders defense.
Yeah, for sure. As we start our next segment, hot topics in the NFL, we're going to focus our blaze point on it. The NFL, the head of the NFLPA, says that in 2021, a strike is very likely from the players. What are we taking away from that?
As a fan, this is something that you never want to hear, but I completely understand why it's needed. I mean, the players don't trust the owners right now, and I feel them. The owners have had options in the CBA deal for them. If they don't like something that's going on in it, they could have opted out. Like in 2006, there was a deal struck, and then in 2008, they didn't like something, so they opted out of it. So, as much as I wish that the players could figure it out, them not having options like that for them when they see players in the NBA getting so much money and they see all the freedom that players in other sports have, I feel them. Like, I completely understand why this is a problem. They need to address it.
I 100% agree. I'm not surprised by this at all.
Yeah.
Since the last CBA, think about everything that has happened in the NFL, all the issues, everything that's going to go into getting this deal done, everything that has to be agreed upon when it comes down to the suspensions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How are you handling suspensions?
Big.
Yeah.
That's big issue.
The fines.
The fines. CTE.
Mm-hmm.
CTE is a huge one.
Yeah.
The money situation.
Nope.
That's something that has to be addressed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to that in a second.
There's a lot of things that have to be addressed here. So
I feel like ultimately everyone can say it's just about the money, and it might be about the money, but the CTE is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, since the study came out about CTE, which Goodell still denies to this day, like, NFL does not cause CTE. This is a safe game. Like, after all that, the players aren't falling for that no more. They see the results. They see what's happening to some of these players. And then accompany that with the money that the NBA players are getting from what all they did. Lock out. They stood on their own 2 feet and said, no, we're not falling for this no more. Y'all are gonna listen to us. This is what we want. And they stood their ground for it, and look what they got.
Yeah.
All that money.
Money.
Yeah, I feel like the money is the big part.
I mean, like you said, the CTE is the big part. The money,
safety.
The player safety is always going to be the most important part of this. But like you said, the money that, and I said it earlier, the money that the NBA players made this offseason, I personally believe is the reason why the NFLPA told them back in May, start saving your money.
Yeah.
Because in 2021, we're going to get you some more, but you better be ready then to not make any, because we're ready to stay out of to lock us out of the league and get you guys what you guys deserve. So be ready for it. And I think it's the smartest move.
And sometimes you feel like the lockout won't really happen. I do believe this situation where I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I would expect it in 2021.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. The leader of the NFLPA said if they can get something done between now and 2021, where it looks where the NFLPA can opt out of the deal, because the owners have had. That's why I mentioned that, because the owners had that option and the NFLPA wants that option. So if they can get that option and get a new deal in place, then we won't lose football.
Yeah.
But
guys,
we don't think it's gonna happen.
think of this.
I don't think
NBA locked out, and think of the money they're making.
Yep.
NFL triples the money. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, sixfold maybe. NFL makes the most money out of all the sports. It, like, when they lock out and they want to get more money from them, they're going to get a big amount of money. Like, everyone thinks it's basketball money, something like the NFL's worse. Yeah, it's harder to pay them because they're on such a shorter leash. Like, the safety, the injuries, you don't know what they say, 3 years?
Yeah,
what's the average NFL span? You know what I mean?
3 years NFL career.
Yeah, average NFL career is 3 years. So, I mean, yeah, it's a risk, but Aaron Donald, Tom Brady's, Aaron Rodgers, think Odell. I think of the players that are really the ones that are, like, they should be making this money.
And I don't mean, yet again, like you said, it's all about the owners are being selfish. They don't want to pay the money. 3 out of the top 5 most expensive teams in sports are in the NFL. The Cowboys, the Patriots, and the Giants.
Yeah.
3 players from those teams need to go to their ownership and tell them, we stand behind the NFLPA. I personally believe that's the best way to get this nipped in the bud for us, for the fans.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a long, hard fight.
Most expensive franchise is the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Where's that money? If I'm Zeke, where's that money?
And the new stadium.
If I'm Dak,
that's what Jerry's going to say to the stadium.
Where's that money? I want some of that money.
Yeah, I don't want to
deserve some of that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Aaron Donald saying,
if there was no us, there'd be no Jerry's World.
You just moved to LA, new stadium, and I'm trying to get paid too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Aaron Donald needs to continue to hold out and get his money, because
it's all greed.
I mean, players only have so long to play this game. You gotta get paid while you can.
Yeah.
The NFL owners don't want to let that happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've always been greedy.
I think that's the main reason why this year with what happened with Cap and what we keep continuing to see going on with the police and the the protests, I should say. These players in the league nowadays are like, we're putting our face out there, we're putting our person out there for these people to abuse us and take advantage of us, and they're tired of it. I mean, I understand now, as much as I wish the players would be in camp because they need to be there, I'm starting to, the more and more that I follow the NFL on the business side of the world, the more and more I understand that they are ridiculous. And it's a scary world. It's a scary world now, for sure.
The plans with the how they go forward with their medicine. How they're going to handle that situation. That's something else that's going to have to be worked out.
Doctors misdiagnosing.
Things like that can't happen anymore either. So we have to figure this out.
We talk about medical marijuana in the NFL. That's something that will definitely be a hot topic in 2021. That will be a big topic there.
You guys see that Goodell didn't even. They said they haven't even got around to reinstating Josh Gordon. There's things like that going on. He smoked weed.
He smoked weed and he's been out there.
And he's been out the league for how long?
2 full seasons, 43 out of 48 of the last.
At this point,
43 out of the last 48 games he hasn't played. But there's people like, even though I like Zeke and I think that he should be on the field, he only got a 6-game suspension. He will be back.
Greg Hardy's been on the field.
Josh Brown admitted to. He admitted to, and his wife admitted to,
over 20 times.
His wife over 20 times, and he got suspended for 1 game, 1 single game. Zeke was not even charged, was found innocent, really, and he
6 games.
Is getting 6 games. It doesn't make sense. They need to figure out that.
Good for you.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of our Blaze Point. Hoping that the NFL Players Association definitely deals with that, get our players good things moving forward. Now, as we come to our last segment, everyone's favorite, the last hit. Who we passing it to, guys?
I'm going to give my last hit to Pete Carroll, John Lynch, and most of all, Jason Garrett.
What did they do?
Get them.
Okay, so they came out and was talking about the players protesting the national anthem, how they feel about it, and they're not big fans of it, all of them. Jason Garrett specifically said that the national anthem is something that's sacred, it's special and it's sacred. And his players, you could see that from his players, the way his players treat the anthem. So pretty much, what I get it from that, the Cowboys players are discouraged from speaking their mind and speaking out. That comes from the top down. That comes from Roger Goodell. That comes from Jerry. That comes from everybody.
It's ridiculous.
That's number 1. Number 2, when he said that it is sacred, that the national anthem is sacred to him, it's sacred, period. I don't understand how you could say that, but the lives of black people are not sacred. How is that not sacred to you? How is a human life not sacred to you, but a song and a flag is? To me, that's upsetting, and it says a lot about the coaches and the ownership in the NFL.
Definitely something to watch out for looking going forward.
Get it together.
Get it together. As we pass our next one, last hit.
Okay, bro.
You want me? I got this.
Jarrell, it's on you. Who we passing it to?
My last hit's going out to Blake Balake Bortles. My message to him is he needs to tighten up. Tighten up, bro. Like you said earlier, he was booed at the preseason game. Not only that, do you know who he was replaced with?
Not Colin Kaepernick.
Not Colin Kaepernick.
This name's Chad Henne. Michigan Big House Chad Henne. He was nice at Michigan, but we know NFL Chad Henne. We know NFL Chad Henne. Okay, he came in during the preseason to take over the first reps at the end of the first half with them. So that shows me that Blake is on his way out, and someone who was brought in as a franchise quarterback is getting replaced by Chad Henne. So last and final warning, Balake, tighten up, bro.
True.
Denzel, last hit. Who we giving it to?
I'm gonna have to give my last hit out to Jake Suter from Bowling Green because he did something elite level. The coach had 2 scholarships left to offer, and you know what he did? He went out on the field while Jake Suter was lining up to kick, and he said, "You make this 53-yard field goal, full ride for the rest of your time here at Bowling Green."
And then what?
What do you think he did?
Thank you.
It's good.
It's good. I'm here to say he has his full ride, and that to me is something like we've talked about before. Players go to college and if they're playing sports specifically, they usually use their academics, their scholarship to be there.
Yep.
He was a player that was there just playing sports because he loved
Trying
it,
to earn it.
and he earned it. And that's something cool for. That's cool.
I commend
love
coaches that do that too.
Yeah,
I like coaches
true.
that
Shout out
have
to you,
them
Coach
do
James.
that.
Alright guys, that'll do it for the last hit. This also wraps up the week for the show. We'll be back again with you on Monday. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. From all of us here, my esteemed panel, we'll join you again for another morning sports session. You matching?